Hi, I'm Timea Presley. Thank you for joining me today. I had more questions about the Pilates Teacher Training program. How do we complete practice hours, practice teaching hours, and observation hours? Well, here are a couple tips. The Presley Pilates Teacher Training program consists of 4 modules: mat, reformer, Cadillac and tower, chair and barrels, and it is a 500-hour program. There are some classroom hours, observation hours, practice teaching hours, and self-practice or personal practice hours included in these 500 hours. And I teach the training currently in a one-on-one format and on Zoom, so you can do it from anywhere. When it comes to personal practice hours, you can practice the exercises that are described in the manual that we use, so that you can perfect the experience in your own body. You can read the manual and see step by step how to perform the movement, see what modifications are necessary for certain postural types or even for your own body. So the personal practice hours are easy. It also counts if you complete some private sessions with me, for example, as personal practice. You could also use Pilates videos to complete personal practice hours. Now, how about observation? In times where there is social closeness and not social distancing, students of the teacher training program would come in person and observe some hours. But when that's not a possibility, watching Pilates videos is a great way to complete your observation hours. So the difference between practicing and watching is very big. When you practice, you focus on your own body, you focus on your own form. You're still taking in the intention of the instructor, you're still taking in their cues and learning a lot. But when you complete observation hours, your sole focus is to pick up cues, to see how the instructor you're observing uses transitions, what kind of connections he or she makes, how does she modify exercises, what kind of variations does she use. It's a wonderful way to expand your knowledge and grow, and also find your voice, because as a new instructor, it usually takes a little bit of time to figure out how you will be teaching Pilates, what interests you, what do you like to focus on, what drives you, how do your students also direct you towards a particular teaching style based on their needs, because we learn a lot from the people who we work with. So the observation hours can be completed this way. Now, practice teaching hours are easy to complete when it comes to mat Pilates. You can either complete it online via Zoom or Skype or similar, and ask a friend or family member, or if you're able to share a space with another person and invite them to your space, then you can teach friends and family in your space and accumulate practice teaching hours for that. It's a little more difficult when it comes to teaching on the equipment. A lot of people in the teacher training program end up purchasing at least a reformer. The reformer is the centerpiece, really. It's just such a wonderful piece of equipment, so it's nice to have one in your house. If you have a reformer, if you purchase a reformer in your own space, or you can find a friend or family member who does have a reformer, there are a couple people out there who do, then you can teach them in person or on Zoom, Skype and such, and complete your reformers teaching hours that way. Now, so if you have a lot of space in your home and you want to purchase more equipment and buy the tower for your reformer and even a chair, then you almost have a complete setup, maybe a small barrel of some sort. Now, if you don't want to set up such a complicated collection of equipment in your space, then there are a couple things you can do. You can find a studio at your location that understands your situation and allows you to maybe rent a space or use their space as you practice or complete some practice teaching hours. If you're maybe already teaching in a studio because you're certified in mat and reformer, you can probably most of the time use the equipment. You have to still ask, because this is not a rule, but this has been my observation throughout the years. Or there is already a connection, so it's easy to ask if you could practice teach and bring in people of your own, or maybe practice teach on some of the clients if that is not a liability issue. So coordinate with the studio, or find a studio that allows you to arrange for all that. Same is true for your own personal practice hours, and of course the observation hours can always be completed in person when that's a possibility, or by observing an instructor teaching on video, or for that matter on Zoom. I hope that this information was helpful. Please let me know if you have further questions. If you're interested in the teacher training program, contact me through the PresleyPilates.com website, which has a contact page, and that email will go directly to my email box. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.